Joe Rogan is calling out Oprah and Michelle Obama for hypocritical speeches at the DNC. Watch.
She's up there talking about income inequality. Like, hey, lady.
Yeah, I know.
You're rich as Like, how is that equal? Wonderful woman. I think she's a powerful force of good and positive energy.
But you ain't no Elon.
But she also brought us Dr. Oz and The Secret. We have to remember what this lady has done. And also, when Michelle Obama was saying, you know, I think she was saying her mother or grandmother was always suspicious of people who took more than they needed.
Yes.
Like, you are worth so much money.
She has to be held accountable.
I forgive her, but I mean, cut the shit. The Secret is a particularly egregious offense.
What? You don't believe? You don't believe?
Take more than they need. The Obamas have 4 mansions.
I mean, it's a bunch of rich people talking about rich people.
It's true, the Harris interview did feel like a very special episode of Oprah, but instead of everybody getting a new car, everybody got an aneurysm.
Believe?
I want to be rich. I am rich.
I imagine myself flying. I can fly. I will beat my wings until I take an interview.
No.
It's off the rails.
Yeah,
Off the rails.
I heard about it.
Into fucking wine mom country again.
Wow.
I'm a gun owner. Tim Walz is a gun.
I know that.
If somebody breaks in my house, they're getting shot.
Or fall down.
Yes, and it's honestly...
She's a little old to be falling down. You loved it?
I loved it.
Wow.
Loved it. She didn't get hurt.
People get hurt.
She's fine.
She's dead.
Yes, I hear that.
Tim Dillon is the best. Tim Dillon's like, she's saying gypsy curses. What is she saying?
Shortly after the Oscars, a 3.9 magnitude earthquake rocked L.A.
She died?
Yes.
All right. Ding dong. The witch is dead.
She didn't.
No,
she did, and I was
she died from the
joking
fall.
about her.
Yeah, we're fucked.
No, she didn't die.
No, she's fine. I just think like
she looks like she got hurt.
It's nice to see billionaires.
When I had friends that were telling me that The Secret is real and that they imagined they were going to fulfill these childhood dreams that they had about whatever, being a fucking astronaut, whatever it would be. It was one of the more I want to say disturbing, but it was confusing when that was taking hold with people.
The tremors were so powerful, Oprah's ass is still moving. Why would you laugh at that? That's fat shamers.
There's a couple people that I knew that were trying to tell me that The Secret was going to be the thing and that they had a vision board and they had photographs. They put pictures up of the things that they wanted, like them in front of large crowds and shit. And I'm like, oh boy.
Them in front of large crowds.
This is so not how it works.
Once upon a time, Oprah was the gold standard of trust. If she said it, you believed it. If she recommended it, you bought it. And if she cried on camera, the nation cried with her. But somewhere between handing out free cars and launching billion-dollar book clubs, something quietly shifted. Now, fast forward to today, and what used to be daytime comfort food is starting to taste a little processed. And the folks pulling back the curtain, not the usual critics. Nope. This time it's Joe Rogan, Greg Gutfeld, and Megyn Kelly, dragging Oprah's polished image into the spotlight with sarcasm sharp enough to slice through cashmere. Joe's over here calling her out for building a mansion on inspiration and then charging rent for the positivity. Gutfeld? He's basically saying Oprah didn't just build a brand, she built a media fortress and locked the truth outside. And Megyn? She's done sipping the Kool-Aid. She's questioning the carefully choreographed vulnerability, the curated guest list, and the empire that somehow turns every spiritual quote into a sales pitch. It's not just about Oprah being rich. It's about how that wealth is wielded.
Oprah's list of favorite things. So Oprah released her annual list of favorite things, and as usual, there are lots of expensive stuff. $1,000 pizza oven, $590 drip coffee maker, $80 of luxury salt. Sadly, no proposal from Stedman.
When she released her favorite things list, people expected cozy holiday vibes, not $1,000 ovens and doomsday journals. And when disaster struck in Maui, her response wasn't just questioned, it was roasted. Because asking everyday folks to donate while lounging in million-dollar estates, that didn't land well. So, what happened to the woman who built a career on being real? Was it always just really well marketed? This isn't just a takedown, it's a reckoning. A wake-up call. A moment where people are starting to say the quiet part out loud. That maybe, just maybe, the Queen of Connection has been selling a beautifully wrapped illusion all along. And that is where the story really begins. It used to be the most magical moment of the year. Oprah's favorite things. Cue the glitter, cue the screaming audience, cue Oprah dramatically revealing gifts like she's delivering happiness straight from heaven's stockroom. Except lately, it's felt less like generosity and more like a luxury catalog from someone who's never stood in a checkout line. Joe Rogan didn't even have to say it. One look at the list.
Kat, do you think she went over this first to make sure it wasn't too extravagant?
You're missing the best one.
What?
Okay, it is a little journal, and it's called I'm Dead, Now What? Important information on my belongings, business affairs, and wishes. Hand this to someone at Christmas, I dare you.
And it was clear. Oprah's idea of festive cheer now includes a $1,000 pizza oven, a $590 drip coffee maker, and $80 luxury salt. You heard that right? Salt for $80. Apparently, flavor now costs more than rent in some places. But wait, the best one? A journal titled, I'm Dead, Now What? Because nothing says holiday spirit like paperwork for your funeral wrapped in a bow. Greg Gutfeld couldn't help but mock the spectacle. He compared it to a billionaire sitting on a velvet throne, handing down lavish gifts like a modern-day monarch and expecting applause in return. The vibe? Less Santa Claus, more Queen of Consumerism. And honestly, he's not wrong. Oprah's not just gifting products, she's curating status, wrapped in branding, and dipped in exclusivity. Megyn Kelly chimed in too, questioning if Oprah even goes through these lists herself anymore, or if she's just letting a marketing team decide what joy looks like for people who already live in a Pottery Barn catalog. What used to be a warm, fuzzy tradition has now turned into a corporate flex, a holiday pageant of excess.
You remember the time Oprah had that lady on, his face bit off by the chimp? Stay there. And she showed her face on TV?
Oh, yeah.
Miraculously, she survived just the unimaginable. Her name is Charla Nash. Charla almost always covers her face with the hat and scarf. She wears it, she says, because she doesn't want to scare people.
That seems totally disconnected from the everyday folks who once saw Oprah as one of their own. It's not just about expensive stuff. It's about what that stuff represents. A shift, a gap, a reminder that the woman who once walked among us now floats several tax brackets above. And just when you think this disconnect can't get more obvious, Oprah decided to tackle a real crisis. Or rather, pretend to. Because what she did during the Maui wildfire disaster, that's where the illusion starts to really crack. You'd think when disaster strikes, someone with Oprah's influence would lead the charge with quiet grace and serious impact. But what we got instead? A PR disaster disguised as charity. So, here's what happened. When the wildfires devastated Maui, Oprah teamed up with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to launch a relief fund, asking everyday people to pitch in. Sounds noble, right? Except there was just one tiny problem. The two people making the plea are two of the wealthiest celebrities on the planet. And the internet wasn't having it. Greg Gutfeld and Megyn Kelly didn't hold back. They mocked the move as tone-deaf at best, manipulative at worst. Because when someone with private jets, oceanfront estates, and a billion-dollar empire looks into the camera and asks you, yes, you, to open your wallet, it hits differently. It felt less like generosity and more like passing the collection plate from a gold-plated altar. And then...
The lady was wearing a veil over her face, like, let's see your face, come on. She pulls the veil away.
Like a nope.
What are you doing?
Would you mind lifting the veil? Oh, no. So we can see. You could take the hat off. Oh, the hat comes off. Yep. Okay. All right.
Silence. After the backlash rolled in, the whole campaign just vanished. No follow-ups, no status updates, just Oprah moving right along, back to her luxury slippers and favorite thing lists like none of it ever happened. 1 second, it's please help Maui. The next, it's you get slippers, everyone gets slippers. Joe Rogan called it what it was, performative philanthropy. A feel-good moment engineered for optics, not outcomes. A lot of sentiment, but not a lot of substance. And that's what rubbed people the wrong way. Because for years, Oprah positioned herself as the person who gets it, the one who understands struggle, the one who made it from nothing and stayed grounded. But when crisis knocked, she didn't open the vault. She opened the camera. Megyn Kelly summed it up best. This wasn't just a PR fumble, it was a glimpse into how far Oprah's image has drifted from the people who made her famous. The authenticity felt hollow, the empathy felt scripted, and the response? It wasn't heroic. It was awkward silence followed by a luxury gift guide. And just when you think the cracks are starting to show, wait till you see the kind of ideas Oprah's been promoting. Because the next one didn't just raise eyebrows, it made people question her influence entirely.
Oprah is actually suggesting that I think you're like, listen, what do you say? Like, this made me think of you. Like, you're probably not going to be alive much longer. Merry Christmas. Oprah, if she did go over this, she is a sick.
Let's talk about The Secret. No, not some confidential Hollywood deal or Illuminati whisper. We're talking about the best-selling book Oprah helped catapult into the stratosphere. You know the one. Just think hard enough, visualize it on a vision board, and boom, you'll manifest it into existence. Sounds harmless? Until it isn't. Joe Rogan wasn't amused. In fact, he practically groaned through the story. He talked about people he knew, real people, who genuinely believed they could achieve their wildest dreams, not through hard work or strategy, but by cutting out pictures, taping them to a wall, and hoping. Like somehow the universe was Amazon Prime for million-dollar fantasies. But the real twist? It wasn't just wishful thinking, it became dangerous. Megyn Kelly pointed to a heartbreaking case, a woman battling late-stage illness who, inspired by The Secret, ditched her treatment plan and tried to think herself healthy. The result? Tragically predictable. And while Oprah didn't write the book, her full-throated endorsement gave it power, reach, and credibility it never would have earned on its own. This wasn't a one-time thing either. Oprah's been the queen of spiritual sound bites, turning mystical half-truths into digestible nuggets of empowerment. You've heard them? Live your best life. The universe has your back. Whatever you believe, you become. But when those phrases are packaged for mass consumption, without context, without guardrails, they can lead people straight into disillusionment.
Salt, you got cheese, you got pizza.
Barry, I'm going to stop you there.
Yes.
I treat this like the list I get from my kids. They send me emails because they know when I laugh in their face, it hurts. Anyone who wants a $1,000 pizza oven.
Gutfeld put it bluntly. Oprah turned belief into a business model. Affirmation became currency. Positivity became product. And at a certain point, it stopped being about helping people and started being about selling them the feeling of transformation without the hard part in between. The Secret was just the shiny, pastel-colored tip of a very commercial iceberg. It sold hope like a high-end handbag. But the price? For some, it was more than just wasted money. It was time lost, faith misplaced, and in rare but tragic cases, health sacrificed. And that's the Oprah effect. Once she co-signs something, it doesn't just trend, it transforms into gospel. Whether it works or not, that part's usually fine print. But as the dream gets sold to millions, one question starts to rise louder than the applause. Is Oprah's version of empowerment actually helping or just hypnotizing? For decades, Oprah was the gold standard of real, raw, relatable. The woman who made crying on national TV not just acceptable, but iconic. But lately, even that trademark authenticity is starting to feel suspiciously choreographed. Greg Gutfeld called it straight. Oprah's not just a talk show host. She's a producer of her own vulnerability. Every teardrop, every jaw drop, every perfectly timed pause, it's less human emotion, more cinematic direction. The audience might not see the script, but something about the delivery says cue the tissues. Take the infamous Charla Nash interview, the woman who survived a horrific animal attack and wore a veil to cover her injuries. Oprah didn't just ask if she felt comfortable sharing her face.
You're going to get what Cat picked out. Like, that's the greatest gift you can give somebody because you can't return it. Because returning it, oh, you think you're immortal? You think you're better than us? Like, get your affairs in order. That's the great, you stole the show. They wanted me to talk about a dog towel. That is, towel's a towel. Great job. That's the best gift ever. And Oprah has never read this, just like I don't read the list for my kids.
She practically pushed for the reveal like it was the season finale. Viewers were stunned. Some were moved, but many were left asking, was this compassion or a ratings grab dressed up as bravery? Megyn Kelly wasn't buying the act either. She pointed to how Oprah handles interviews, how emotions build right when the cameras are rolling, how the couch confessions feel less spontaneous and more like strategically captured moments of breakdown. It's not that the emotion isn't real, it's that it's been branded. And that's the deeper problem, because when being real becomes part of the marketing strategy, it's hard to tell where the person ends and the brand begins. Oprah mastered the art of making millions feel like her best friends, but those friends? They've only ever known the version of her that passes through a production team, a lighting crew, and probably 4 rounds of brand approval. It's emotional storytelling, sure, but it's also narrative control. She decides what gets shown, what gets said, and how much truth the audience is allowed to absorb. That's not a flaw, unless you're claiming to be the voice of vulnerability in a world that's starving for the real thing. Gutfeld summed it up like this: Oprah isn't just relatable, she's professionally relatable, and that makes all the difference. When authenticity becomes a performance, it stops being a mirror and starts being a mask. And while we're questioning what's real and what's rehearsed, let's talk about the next part of Oprah's empire, the shiny world of wellness, where enlightenment comes with a price tag and a product code. Once upon a time, wellness meant a good night's sleep and maybe a salad. But in Oprah's world, wellness is a lifestyle empire, complete with detox juices, gratitude journals, scented candles, and a trademark sense of inner peace that somehow always comes with a checkout button. Greg Gutfeld had a field day with this one. He compared Oprah's wellness branding to watching a shark do ballet. Awkward, confusing, and just a little bit terrifying. Because when a billionaire starts preaching green juice enlightenment while floating between Maui and Montecito...
Nice to see somebody... No, it humanizes her. She is such a figure of perfection.
Women should learn. Those fucking shiny bottom shoes, them bitches are useless. You can't wear those things. They're so slippery. Those really expensive shoes that the gals like, that always have the shiny bottoms.
Yeah.
Here she is walking, and I believe she's talking about balance, which is...
It stops feeling like health advice and starts looking like a high-end sales funnel. Megyn Kelly didn't hold back either. She called out the obvious. This isn't about self-care, it's about self-merchandising. Drink this tea, read this book, cleanse your spirit, and don't forget to tag Oprah in your unboxing video. It's not a community. It's a curated marketplace where the product is transformation and the price is steep. This is the part of Oprah's empire that hides in plain sight. The calming voice, the spiritual affirmations, the find your purpose mantras, all packaged with luxury aesthetics and a powerful subtext. Buy your way to better. It's inspirational capitalism at its finest, and it's made her millions. Let's not forget her investment in Weight Watchers. The moment she bought a stake, Oprah's personal wellness journey became a stock ticker. When the numbers dipped, so did her waistline, and when they rose, so did the applause. It wasn't just about health anymore. It was about market confidence disguised as self-love. And here's the kicker. All of it works. Because Oprah isn't just selling products, she's selling trust. The kind that makes people believe a $50 water bottle will fix their anxiety, or that a $600 weekend retreat will unlock their higher self. It's spirituality with a shipping label. A movement built on mood lighting and marketing psychology. Sure, it's easy to laugh at kale smoothies and aura cleanses until you realize how deeply this branding seeps into the cultural psyche. Oprah's wellness machine doesn't just speak to her fans, it reprograms them, slowly shifting their sense of what healing and wholeness even look like. And if you're wondering whether all this lifestyle branding is just harmless hustle, wait till you see how Oprah controls the actual media playing field.
LOL.
The irony is staggering.
So, flat ground.
Doesn't mean all things are equal or at peace at all times.
Oh, she bites the dust. Let's see how she recovers.
She says new shoes.
At first glance, Oprah might just seem like your favorite TV host who made it big. But step back, zoom out, and the full picture starts to look less like a career and more like a hostile media takeover in heels. Greg Gutfeld didn't sugarcoat it. Oprah doesn't just dabble in media. She owns it. From daytime TV to book clubs, magazine racks to streaming platforms, there's barely a screen or shelf she hasn't stamped with her seal of approval. She's not part of the conversation. She decides which conversation gets aired, who gets invited, and what tone they're allowed to use. What looks like empowerment on the surface. Gutfeld calls it benevolent monopoly, a smiling empire builder who swears it's all about connection, while quietly cornering every angle of your cultural experience. Books, talk shows, interviews, self-help seminars, Oprah's empire doesn't just sell content, it curates your worldview. And if you think that's dramatic, Megyn Kelly's got more. She pointed out how tightly controlled the Oprah brand is. Every headline, every interview, every endorsement, it all flows through the filter of, will this make the brand shine? She's the gatekeeper, the editor-in-chief, the final say. And while she might not be barking orders in a control room, don't be fooled. The crown may be soft, but it's still a crown. Remember, this is the same Oprah who launched her own network, OWN, not just to share stories, but to control the pipeline from creation to distribution. That's called vertical integration, and it's not a cute phrase. It's how billionaires play chess while the rest of the industry fumbles with checkers. Even her guest lists are curated for maximum impact.
Oh, those rude fucks. They edit it so she hits the ground over and over again. Well, you know what? I gotta say, I like how she framed with her elbow and then did a roll. Right. She absorbed a lot of energy in a roll.
Good technique, Ope.
The couch isn't just a couch, it's a throne. A launching pad for brands, a red carpet for redemption arcs, a stage for image rehab. And if you get the Oprah blessing, congratulations. You've just been licensed for cultural relevance. But here's the flip side. When one person holds that much influence, the space for dissent shrinks. Alternative ideas get drowned out. And what starts as inspiration slowly turns into a velvet echo chamber, where only Oprah-approved truths make it past the velvet ropes. And if you think this was all about media control, buckle up. Because Oprah's reach wasn't just about books and screens, she flirted with something far more powerful. Let's get one thing straight. Oprah knows power. She's mastered media, rebranded wellness, and built an empire on personal transformation. So when she stepped onto that Golden Globe stage in 2018 and delivered a speech that shook the room, people didn't just applaud, they started printing bumper stickers that read, Oprah 2020? And for a minute, it almost felt real. Hope-filled tweets, talk show speculation.
There was a story I was reading about Oprah, unfortunately, where this woman had terminal cancer.
Hey.
And she had stage 3 breast cancer and just decided that through The Secret, she was going to imagine herself a healthy person.
Think pieces calling her the antidote to Trump. But here's the thing. Oprah never actually said she was running. She never denied it either. She just smiled, paused, and let the fantasy fuel itself. Greg Gutfeld nailed it. This wasn't a campaign, it was a cliffhanger. A reality show-style tease where the audience is strung along with dramatic music, only to be left hanging before the big reveal. Oprah turned potential candidacy into a brand refresh, progressive enough to rally her base, vague enough not to rattle her billionaire circle. Megyn Kelly saw right through it. She called out the strategic ambiguity. The careful tightrope Oprah walks where she can appear politically conscious without actually getting her hands dirty in the trenches. It's optics over action, symbolism over substance. Because let's be real, if Oprah did run, every brand she's touched would suddenly be under a microscope. Her media holdings, her business deals, her friendships with the elite, all fair game. And that might just be too risky for someone whose empire depends on pristine optics. Instead, she plays the long game. Drop a quote here. Attend a rally there, stay close enough to influence the conversation, but far enough to avoid the fallout when it turns messy. It's smart, it's calculated, and honestly, it works. But this isn't about whether Oprah should run for president. It's about how she uses political proximity as a marketing tool, just close enough to be seen as a thought leader, just far enough to avoid hard accountability. And while she keeps her political cards close to the cashmere vest, her influence in the culture war is anything but subtle. Because next up, we're diving into the celebrity bubble, where being Oprah-approved isn't just status, it's protection from criticism, and the keys to the kingdom. In Oprah's world, fame isn't just earned, it's ordained. You don't just get popular, you get Oprah'd. And once you're in that inner circle...
And then, she eventually wound up dying from it because she didn't get treatment.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, she stopped conventional medical treatment.
Welcome to the Oprah Protection Program, where your image stays polished, your flaws get glossed over, and your access unlimited. Greg Gutfeld said it best. Being on the right side of Oprah isn't just good PR, it's a career move. A nod from her can turn unknown authors into bestsellers, overlooked actors into household names, and lifestyle brands into overnight empires. But with that kind of power comes something else: control. Megyn Kelly peeled back that layer too. She pointed out how Oprah's empire doesn't just amplify voices, it selects them. If you're in, you're in. If you're out, you disappear. It's like a velvet-lined echo chamber where dissent isn't silenced. It just never gets invited in the first place. Think about it. How many times have we seen celebrities fawn over Oprah on live TV? The Julia Roberts. "Oh, Madam Vice President." "Oh, hi, Oprah." Moment wasn't just awkward, it was revealing. It showed how deeply embedded Oprah is in the upper echelon of celebrity culture. She's not just a host, she's a gatekeeper. And questioning her, that's borderline heresy in Hollywood. Even her public events carry that energy, like a summit of the elite telling the masses what's good for them, what book to read, what diet to follow, what mood to be in. And with every recommendation comes a subtle message. Trust me, I know best. But what happens when one person controls the taste, the message, and the morality? According to Gutfeld and Kelly, it gets dangerous. Not because Oprah is evil, but because her influence erases complexity. It turns nuanced conversations into simplified slogans, diverse viewpoints into Oprah-endorsed mantras, and while the crowd claps, the critical thinking slows down. Because this isn't just about fame or influence, it's about how a well-crafted persona can shape the narrative of an entire culture, and no one dares question it. Unless your name is Joe Rogan or Greg Gutfeld. But beneath all the celebrity polish and cultural gatekeeping lies the biggest illusion of all. The idea that this empire was built purely on empathy, that everything Oprah touched was powered by love and authenticity. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. Once you're Oprah approved, you're untouchable. Her nod can make careers, her silence can erase them. Greg Gutfeld calls it the Oprah Protection Program, a velvet-wrapped club where only the chosen thrive. Megyn Kelly says it straight. Oprah doesn't just spotlight culture, she controls it. From book picks to political whispers, everything runs through her filter. And while the world claps, few dare to question. Because in Oprah's realm, influence isn't shared, it's curated. And that, more than any product or pep talk, may be her most powerful brand of all.